Now, despite the name, Apple CarPlay ain't just for cars. It's also a brilliant way to get a whole bunch more functionality on your motorcycle as well. So in this video, we'll go through everything that you need to know, including how to get it on your bike and the best settings and apps to get the most out of it on your rides. Now, before we get started, a massive thanks to CHIGEE for supporting the channel and sponsoring this video. That's how I've got CarPlay on this particular bike, and we'll feature it throughout the video. So if you like the look of it, check out the links in the description below to pick up your own. So for the uninitiated, I guess we better start with what exactly CarPlay is. And basically, it's a mirror of the apps and widgets on your phone, but just in a kind of simplified way that makes them safer and more appropriate for usage when you're on the road. So when I say simpler, that means that some functionality won't be available, some apps aren't available either, but the ones that are have generally bigger icons, bigger text to make them easier to read at a glance, and also make them easier to navigate if you're just jabbing at the screen in your peripheral vision. There's also generally less typing and more support for voice commands. And so like I say, this gives you some extra functionality on the bike, but hopefully without so much distraction. The thing is, how does one actually get CarPlay on your bike? Because clearly you need the appropriate hardware. Now, not every motorcycle that has a TFT dash, like my Tiger 900, actually supports it. And it's really just a few manufacturers that have integrated it into their own systems. Some of the big Harleys, for example, have it, some of the big Indians as well. And you'll also find it on a handful of Honda's more premium bikes. So the Goldwing, some of the ones with the certain TFT dash like the Africa Twin and NT1100 Tourer, and also some of the big scooters like their XADV or Forza 750, I believe. So realistically, you're looking at the more premium end of the motorcycle market there. Although I will say I do expect that will start to change over the coming years, and there are some more affordable options like CF Moto who support it on some of their bikes as well. The only real downside here, of course, it's great to have that functionality for free if it does come on the bike, but I will say, you know, a lot of them are wired instead of wireless, so it means physically plugging your phone in, which does reduce some of the convenience, and more often than not, they require a headset to be paired with the bike, so that can be a little bit of extra hassle when you are gearing up in order to make sure that CarPlay's available. One solution, I suppose, for the wireless situation is that you could get a wireless CarPlay adapter. One of our sponsors, Quadlock, for example, sells theirs and it's very good. But that doesn't really solve the problem of those manufacturers that don't support CarPlay at all. For me, that's why I think one of these devices, like a CHIGEE, is absolutely perfect. We're using the AIO-6 on this particular bike. And it has CarPlay. It also supports Android Auto, which is basically the same thing but for Google devices. And you've got it on its own separate screen here, so that leaves the dash to its own devices, and you can have CarPlay positioned effectively wherever you want in the cockpit. Now, the AIO-6 isn't just a CarPlay device. It does dash cams, both front and rear, blind spot warnings. You can get TPMS as well, tire pressure monitoring. It's got security features, so you can keep an eye on your bike. And it also supports OBD, or onboard diagnostics, so you can get some of the bike's data displayed directly on the screen here, so revs, speed, and stuff like that. With regards to CarPlay specifically, it is wireless, so much more convenient in my opinion. This is touchscreen too, including with your gloves. And so yeah, it's a brilliant product. There's a full video on the channel of how I installed it on my Bonnie last year, but it's fairly simple. It's a screen that you mount up in the cockpit somewhere. There's a tether to the battery, and then you can add some other accessories like the dash cams and stuff. But for CarPlay, it's a really simple install. Now, I will say though, there are a couple of other benefits to having CarPlay on your bike beyond the safety that I just mentioned. And one of them, especially if you go down this CHIGEE route, is the extra screen space. The CHIGEE is a nice large dash, very bright and contrasty too, so nice and visible. Like I say, you can place it wherever you want in the cockpit, so it could be down here or up high on an accessory rail. But more than either of those, I like the fact that instead of with an integrated system, you've actually got two separate screens, so you can leave the regular dash for the basic riding information like speed, revs, a lot of the bike settings and status lights and things like that. But then you've got the whole CHIGEE screen for whatever you want, and we'll get onto some of the best apps later, but for example, you might want it just for navigation. I will say though, if you do have a bike that supports CarPlay, you know, in the interest of editorial fairness here, you know, that is a good cheap option versus using something like the CHIGEE or, you know, paying for a separate navigation device like a TomTom. And the final benefit I think to touch upon, especially with a wireless system like this, is the fact that you can just leave your phone tucked away in your pocket. If your phone's a little bit older and so it's not particularly weatherproof, then obviously that's a nice thing to make sure that it's protected from the elements. But I think more than that, it's just a convenience thing to walk up to the bike, switch it on, for it automatically to connect, and then you've got immediately access to all of your favorite apps without even taking your phone out your pocket. So next up, a little word on setup from a technical perspective. And of course, if you're using one of the integrated CarPlay systems, like on the Harleys or the Hondas, then it's going to be bike specific. So you'll have to check your manual or check YouTube. I think certainly Harley anyway have some good tutorials on their channel. With the CHIGEE here though, if you go into the settings and then into tutorial, it says CarLink, so that accounts for CarPlay, Android Auto, and something called HiCar, which I've never heard of before. But hit the CarPlay menu item, and it will give you the instructions. You basically connect over Bluetooth to the CHIGEE unit from your phone, give it permission to use CarPlay, and it pretty much pops right up. And like I say, subsequently, once it's been paired, you just head to the CarPlay tab, and it automatically connects every time you switch the bike on. I guess the only other important thing to mention with regards to the setup is that you probably do want to use a headset, a Bluetooth comms unit, for example, like the Cardo PackTalk Pro that I've got already installed on this particularly fetching lid. This is going to give you so much more functionality when it comes to listening to music, taking calls, also voice commands in order to control it. So for me, it's a bit of a non-negotiable. The only thing I will say is it can be a little more involved in terms of setting it up with one of the integrated systems. I'm certain, for example, and I think it's the same for Harley, that Honda won't even give you the option to use CarPlay unless you've got something like that paired with the bike. But either way, however way you do it, like I say, I think this is an essential for getting the most out of CarPlay. Once you've got it set up though, you can enjoy some of the apps that make your life on the bike that little bit easier. There's the basics, of course, the phone app, for example, for handling calls, especially if you've got the headset paired up. Messages and WhatsApp I particularly like because you can just do it with voice commands or it'll read out the messages back to you. So as I say, you're less distracted from the road, but you can still let people know what time you're going to be at your destination, or, you know, send important messages like that. There's also the media side of things. So if you want Spotify for listening to music or podcasts, Audible for an audiobook, Tim. Obviously keep it appropriate, mate, for when you're on the road. No raunchy novels. Navigation, you've got the basic Google Maps, Apple Maps, those sorts of things. But also some more motorcycle specific ones. Our partners at Calimoto, for example, which, you know, has its own motorcycle specific algorithm to seek out like twisty, entertaining, curvy roads as opposed to the quick routes on Google Maps. They support CarPlay as well as Android Auto, and so you can enjoy that app as well on a bigger, you know, separate screen. A few others to consider though, parking apps. You might not always have to pay to park, but you may want to use Just Park or Ringo or something like that in order to find parking nearby. I think you can pay as well on some of those. Weather. It's a big part of our shoot days, for example. I really like this one, My Radar. So you can tap into there, see your current location on the map, and it will give you a rain radar. So if you're looking for, maybe you're doing a tour where it's a little bit impromptu, where do you want to camp tonight, or what direction do you want to head in, where you're less likely to get soaked, then you can use it for that. Like I say, when we're out shooting, we generally head away from the rain to get the best footage, and so that's super handy. Very simple, very visual. And then also, interestingly, apps like Fuelio, where you can see the nearest petrol stations and also see their prices, so you can maybe make the right call of where to go before you get there and find out it's super expensive, either in a list or it's also got a map view as well. Now, I don't expect there are many, but for those of us on electric motorcycles, there's also ZapMap, which is pretty much the equivalent, almost an essential if you're using an EV to get anywhere, to know where to charge up. But as you can see, there's a whole range of different apps. That's probably not a comprehensive list. In order to enhance your experience when you're out on the bike. You can also customize the screen, so you can change the order. You have to do that on your phone of the different apps. So I'd recommend grouping them so you can easily get to the right app because they're clustered by theme, let's say. You can change the background. You can go between dark or light mode. And also you've got this widget screen, so you can choose which widgets are displayed. So you can have a clock, you can have the weather, you can have your to-do list, you can have pictures popping up from your camera roll of your family. But the idea is you can get it set up exactly how you want it, and also in a way that you find it most easy to read. So there's certainly some flexibility there. Anyway, that kind of rounds off our little guide on CarPlay for motorcycles. If you've got any questions about CarPlay for bikes, then do leave them down in the comments below and we'll try and get back to you. Hit subscribe as well for more of the latest motorcycle news and reviews and tech like this right here on MOTOBOB. A massive thanks for watching today, and we'll see you in the next video.